What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Amir's Pickleball, and in today's video we're trying something new. We are going to be doing our first kind of sit-down podcast, if you want to call it that, where we're pretty much just going to be talking about various topics, maybe do some gear reviews in the future, stuff like that. So yeah, we have two topics today. Those two topics are pretty much going to be sandbagging in pickleball, as well as line calling in pickleball tournaments as well. So these are two topics that I have a lot of good insight on, as well as something that I just have so much to vent about with these two topics. So I thought, what the hell, let's give it a shot. Let's talk about it in front of the camera. And then also, let's start a discussion in the comments, whatever you guys think. If y'all disagree with me or you agree with me, let me know down below. Let's talk about it. I think these two topics are huge right now in pickleball, especially because of how new or relatively new the sport is. So yeah, guys, let's jump right into it. So number one, let's talk about sandbagging in pickleball. So as you guys know, I've played quite a few tournaments in the past few months, and almost every single tournament that I have played, there has been a ton of sandbagging, especially in the 3-0 to 3-4-9 division, okay? I did play a 3-5 to 3-9-9 division, but there was absolutely no sandbagging, at least not that I've seen. In the entire tournament, everybody was within those lines. There wasn't like a 4-2 playing in that division. Everybody was within those lines. Actually, a lot of people were a little bit under those lines. So like myself, I was a 3-3 going into that tournament. And yeah, obviously I wasn't sandbagging. I was doing the opposite. So yeah, pretty much in the 3-0 to 3-4-9 division in the PPA Challenger in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you haven't seen that vlog, I recommend you go check it out. I'll leave a link somewhere right here. Go check out that vlog. I pretty much talk about my experience, and you also see some gameplay footage. Yeah, so I actually went against some of the sandbaggers in that vlog. So yeah, you guys should definitely check it out. So let's talk about kind of the two ways people are sandbagging and how they're getting away with it. Number one, just creating a brand new duper account, okay? So I faced one guy in the singles division where he had one duper account showing a 3-9-7 or something like that, something like that. He's like a 3-9 something. And he went and played at the tournament at a 3-0 level, the 3-0 to 3-4-9 level. I'm just going to say 3-0. So if you guys hear me say that, it's 3-0 to 3-4-9. That's the division, okay? 3-5 would be 3-5 to 3-9 division, okay? So obviously that guy should have been in a 3-5 division, but instead he made a new duper. How I found that out was I looked him up, and same city, same age, also male, and yeah, I mean, how do you have the same exact name and the only name in the entire United States, if not world? I'm pretty sure duper includes the entire world. How is it that you have the same guy in the same town, same age? It's got to be you, okay? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I will die on that hill. It's got to be him, okay? And yeah, I got destroyed. He beat me 15 to like 6. He was obviously way better than me, and it sucks. You know, it's like if I would have beat that guy, I would have made it to the semifinals, but I didn't. You know, and I looked him up, and yeah, he was way better than what he showed. After the tournament, his duper, he had a new duper. That's how he got away with it. He used that new duper ID, got into this tournament unrated, so NR, came out of the tournament being a 4-1-2, okay? So he beat everybody so bad that his duper pretty much just like went up to a 4-1-2 in one tournament, okay? Just to show you guys, like, this guy definitely was in the wrong division, okay? 1,000%, okay? Somebody winning a tournament like that, they should be around a 3-5, a 3-6, you know what I mean? That's where you should end up being. You know, it just kind of shows, okay, like, you just conquered 3-0, now you're on the way to basically be a low-end to middle-of-the-road 3-5 player. At least that's what it should be, okay? I feel like you shouldn't be coming out of a 3-0 tournament being a really good 4-0 player. You know what I mean? Like, or a low-end 4-0 player. You're obviously in the wrong division. Let's talk about doubles now. The two guys that took gold place in the doubles 3-0 division ended up being a 3.75 as well as almost a 3.6. Okay? So the 3.6 I'm not super mad about, but if we do the math here, okay, 3.6 plus 3.75, that's going to be a 7.35 divided by 2. This is going to be your average team duper. So I think what needs to be done about sandbagging, especially in tournaments where, guys, tournaments are expensive. I think the sport is so new and people want to go out and have fun. You can't have fun when you know that you're going to spend over $100 more than likely. And it kind of sucks because I'm like, man, I don't feel like playing a PPA Challenger until I'm just a lot better. Because I know I'm going to be running into sandbagging. I ran into 2 teams that were sandbagging in the tournament. So, and we're not talking about just a little bit. We're talking about a lot. You know, a 3-7 shouldn't be in a 3-0 tournament or a 3-0 division. They just shouldn't. And I get it. You know, let's just say, oh, I want to go into the tournament and I want to make sure I have a good chance of winning. That's kind of okay. But if you were like a 3-5 or maybe a 3-4-9, like 3-4, that's when you go to try and dominate a 3-0 division. Because you are at the top of, you were pretty much at the maximum end of where you need to be. Like, that's maximum. I get it. If you're a 3-5, you're going to get destroyed in a 3-5 to 3-9 tournament. I'm just going to call it how it is. I've played, again, if you want to play in a 3-5, 3-9 tournament, you need to be at least a 3-7-5 or a 3-8, okay? Like, if you want to win, if you want a chance to win, if you think that you want to go out there, you want to win, that's what you want to do, go play some league, go play some little local tournaments, and then get your duper up to a 3-7-5, a 3-8, go and play a 3-5 to 3-9 tournament, and I'm sure you're going to be on the podium. Simple as that, okay? More than likely, if your team is averaging out at a 3-5-5 in a 3-5 to 3-9 tournament, you're probably not going to do too good, but at least you go out there like a man, right? You're not going out there in a 3-0 to 3-4-9 tournament sandbagging. I feel so much better knowing that I lost, but I know I'm in my skill group. I know I'm at the right spot. I know what I need to work on. Then you have these guys coming in there trying to feed their egos, thinking that, yep, this is what I need. I need to get this $10 medal. Go be a man and go in your right division. Go in your right skill group, okay? Because that's ultimately what's going to make you better. What good does it do if you're going out there and playing against people that you are obviously better than and you're not having very competitive games? Let's talk about some possible caveats or arguments, okay? One, I think this is the biggest argument that I've heard online. They probably signed up in the tournament, okay, and they were probably under. That's fair. That's cool. I get that. That's pretty valid. But what happens when you look all that up, then you find out that they still were over? What's the next excuse? Oh, we can't check. This is from the PPA director that was running the event, PPA Challenger in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. To our face pretty much said, we can't check everybody's duper. Okay, so that completely goes against your policies. You agree that it's terrible, it's frowned upon, it sucks. And we're talking, oh, we can't check everybody's duper. Well, here's his duper. The guy's obviously sandbagging. What do you want to do about it? Oh, we can't do anything about it because we already started the tournament. Got it. So now, since we've already started the tournament, we're just going to have to deal with these sandbaggers. They're going to take first, second, and third place while everybody else just deal with it because of somebody else's negligence. somebody else's laziness. They couldn't check everybody's duper. How about you have a top to bottom spreadsheet of everybody's duper? Okay, this is a solution. Now, let's talk about solutions. Okay, we'll get into this. Let's get into this right now. Number one, whenever anybody is signing up for any tournament, they need to go through a third-party verification process to where it shows you are within that skill range. And I'm sure they can do it in a way where they also implement, okay, as long as you are under 50% reliability. Okay, so reliability, if you guys don't know, is pretty much that circle with a number next to your duper. Let me just show you guys real quick, just so I can give you guys an idea. So you see that number there? I think mine says 63. Yep. So 63. So I'm a 3208 with a 63 reliability score. That reliability score goes to 100. Pretty much just showcases that that's how accurate duper thinks that you are. That is pretty much anything usually above a 60, most people would agree you're around that level. You're usually going to be around that level. For example, you could be a unrated duper player, and if you go out there and play a 5-0 tournament and you have a 5-0 teammate, you could probably get a few points, right? And duper is going to give you probably a 4-0 rating, or maybe even higher, a 4-5 rating. And it's only your first tournament, but your reliability isn't going to be 100%. Reliability is going to be probably a 17 to 25% out of 100. So that being said, let's say that 4-5 player that just played their first tournament at a 5-0 level, they got obliterated. They're like, okay, I got to take it a step down. I want to go play in a 3-5 tournament. Okay? You know, obviously that would look like sandbagging, but what if the guy obviously isn't that, you know, he's at such a low reliability, he's at a 17, he could very well be a 3-5 player because his reliability is so low, he can go up or down very easily when the reliability is low. The higher the reliability, the less you move within games. Okay, does that make sense? So that being said, going back to my point, there needs to be a verification process to where they include reliability as well as your official duper rating. And they will put you where you need to be instead of you being able to choose to sandbag, okay? I think that's one very good option. I don't think they have any software right now. If any of you guys are people that can develop software like that, I think that's an excellent way to go about sandbagging is to, okay, you want to play this tournament, you pay the fee, or before you pay the fee, we're going to make sure that you are able to play in that tournament or allowed to play in that division in the tournament. Another option is to put a spreadsheet per division where everybody's at, make it public, okay? Because here's the problem. On pickleballtournaments.com, whenever you look up people's names, you pretty much are only seeing what people are putting themselves at. Then you click on them, and then you can see their duper rating without the reliability score. What you'd have to do is click on the duper ID, copy that, paste that into duper if you want to see your opponents. But yes, I think a good way to go about it, because I know these people just want to be lazy, is, and they want to say, oh, we can't look at everybody's duper. Sure you can. It's not really that hard. Looking around and just putting it into a spreadsheet or automatically able, there should be a way where you can automatically able to like put people in a spreadsheet, top to bottom, lowest to highest duper per division. It's not rocket science. This can be done. It's just people don't want to do it. That's the problem. People don't want to do it. They truly don't care. They just want your money. That's the truth. Okay? That is the truth. There's no difference between me and some guy that's a 4-0 playing in my division in terms of money. We're paying the same fees. They don't care. They turn a blind eye. It just sucks where people want to act like they care and they want to have these policies in place, but they will take your $120 every day of the week. They don't care. They really don't. That's the truth. And I think that needs to change. I think there absolutely needs to be some sort of verification in every single division, in every single tournament, to ensure fair play and ensure that everybody has a chance to do good. Everybody has a chance to get better, and they're not going to get better when they're going against a 4-0 in a goddamn 3-0 division, okay? It's just demoralizing. Let's just be honest, okay? So, yeah, something needs to be done, okay? Moving on. Let's move on to line calling in tournaments. Okay, so if you guys have seen some of my tournament videos, and one of them in particular is, I think it's called, I'm just going to put it up here when I find it. But this video, we were in the semifinals match, and we ended up losing the match by like 2 or 3 points, and we could have very well won the game. I don't know. It was bad. It was so within the lines that it wasn't even funny. And there actually was a ref present, okay? They weren't reffing the game. They kind of were just there to like kind of hurry us up, I guess, because it was nearing the end of the day, I think. So they were just kind of trying to hurry us up a little bit. Oh, you guys got 30 seconds on your break. Like, you know, they weren't sitting there, oh, okay, 4-4-1. You know, they weren't saying that, you know, before you serve. Like, I've seen that happen, like, where they're actually being an official in the game. It was more like them being a spectator on the sidelines. And after we got hooked, so they made a bad call, the ref was just basically there saying, there's no redos. Like, what's the call? Okay, so we're basically just at the mercy of our opponents. In a tight game, that sucks. That really sucks. So my thing is what do we do? What are we doing about line calls? Because it seems like this is a huge problem in all of pickleball, in amateur and professional, where, you know, if you're in the backcourts and you're at a PPA and you're like a 5-0, 5-5, whatever, you could get hooked. It could happen. Obviously, if you're on the bronze court or championship courts, if you're on those courts, it's different. They have technology. They have the cameras everywhere. Like, you could challenge the call, right? Like, but you can't challenge the call if you're not at those courts. If you're an amateur, forget about it. You know, you're not going to have the opportunity to challenge a call. How are you going to challenge it? It's their eyes versus your eyes at that point. There's no technology proving it. You know what I mean? So I think there needs to be something in place for amateurs, but I just don't know if we're even close to that yet where the sport is. I don't think people maybe care enough. I just know it's a problem. I know it's a big problem within the space that you're just at the mercy of people that are trying to take you down just as much as you're trying to take them down in a game. And you're also at mercy of people are tired. People might not even be looking. They're being lazy, subconsciously just being lazy. You know, they're just kind of like, well, it's close. I'm just going to call it out because it's close. You know, some people aren't going to have good of a heart as you all the time. You know, some people might just be like, oh, it looked in, kind of looked out. I'm just going to call it out because we're in a tournament and I want to win. All I care about is getting that medal, right? And I would feel bad if I feel like I hooked somebody, if I review the footage, it feels bad. It's not a good feeling. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like you can just only do what you absolutely can in that moment to be a good person. You know, I feel like most people should have the integrity to say, you know what, that looked really close. It could have been in. I'm just going to call it in. You know, and I know in a tournament, it's really tough. It stings. But hey, you know, you just have to make the best call that you can make in that moment. That's all you can really do. If you were wrong, you were wrong. It happens. But I think I would feel better if it's so close to where I really don't know. I don't know. I just call it in. You know, I think integrity-wise, you can just call it in. But I think if you hooking somebody is so terrible, especially when it's obvious. When it is like you have everybody around you calling it in, and you're just like, nope, 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 that's out. Mind you, there's cameras on you. And you know there's cameras on you, and you just don't care. That's the problem. That's where I'm like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, this is where we need, I don't know. I think refs, I think an easy fix is like in tournaments, I think outside of pool play, mandatory referees also looking at line calls. You know, I know they're already looking at kitchen, and it's, I guess, really difficult for them. But, like, I think having a second opinion really helps, you know? But again, those refs can't be everywhere. Their eyes can't be everywhere all at once, and I understand that. But, like, there needs to be something in place in amateurs where you can overturn something. Like, there needs to be some sort of way where you can challenge it and you can kind of be like, okay, ball doesn't lie. You know what I mean? I don't know what they could do. Maybe something like, let's redo the point once for the call. I guess that can pose some problems too. But maybe with the help of a referee to kind of say, nope, that was way too obvious. It was way too obviously out. But that can obviously pose problems. So comment down below what you guys think. If you think that's a decent idea, what should be done about these line calls? Like, this is egregious stuff. Like, these are huge problems happening in the space right now. Let me know down below what you guys think should be done. Maybe my idea is kind of like too far-fetched, but I just kind of thought about it on the fly. I'm like, man, maybe that could help to kind of, you know, I'm just thinking about when I used to play basketball. It's just like, all right, let's shoot for it, okay? Meaning, like, you shoot from the three-point line, and if you make it, ball doesn't lie. I am a firm believer of ball doesn't lie. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys do at all like this type of content, you guys want more topics, please let me know. I'm very excited to give the people what you guys want. Let me know what you guys want to see. Do you guys want to see more gear reviews? Do you want to see more videos of me just talking and venting about various topics, more tips and drills videos on pickleball? Just please let me know down below. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.